The U.S. China tariff war continues to this day and has seriously affected the Chinese people's food supply. The price of meat has started to rise. Let's watch some videos together. The price of our beef and mutton fluctuates greatly. From before the Qingming festival to after the festival, the cost for a container of goods increased by about $30,000. Now it's been falling with a drop of $500 to $600 per ton. This situation is related to our trade war. Secondly, the overall domestic demand cannot keep up, which leads to the rapid rise and fall of beef prices. As the cashmere and wool trades, we must be cautious. The price of beef has been rising rapidly in the past 2 days. In many places in the south, beef is already $2.50 per pound. Due to the tariffs imposed by the U.S., the price of soybean oil keeps on rising. Brothers, do you still have any goods? What will the trend of soybean oil be in the future? With the Beijing authorities' recent retaliatory tariffs on U.S. agricultural products such as soybeans and corn, as well as U.S. pork and beef, the Chinese people have to pay for it. China is the world's largest importer of soybeans, while the U.S. is one of the world's largest exporters of soybeans. In 2024, the U.S. exported $24.65 billion in agricultural products to China, of which soybeans alone accounted for $12.76 billion. However, due to the impact of tariffs, China's soybean imports from the U.S. have significantly reduced starting from 2024. The industry predicts that if China's imports of U.S. soybeans continues to decrease significantly this year, it may cause soybean oil prices to rise. Soybean meal accounts for 60% of China's feed protein source. Also, it's an essential high-protein raw material for pigs, poultry, and aquaculture. If the CCP significantly reduces its soybean imports from the U.S. this year, the price of soybean meal will rise to $480 per ton, feed costs will increase by about 15%, and China's pig farming costs will rise from $1.97 per kilogram to around $2.20 per kilogram. At the same time, the U.S. is one of China's important sources of beef and pork imports. Affected by the tariff war, the purchasing cost pressure on Chinese catering companies has continued to increase. Mr. Li, the manager of a steak restaurant chain in Beijing, said, "We try to use domestic beef, but some high-quality parts are still imported. The procurement cost has increased by nearly 30%, so the menu prices have to be adjusted. However, customers are very sensitive to price increases, and business is obviously not as good as before." The prices of meat, cooking oil, and other products in China are rising, which is also causing the daily living costs of Chinese people to continue to increase. Ms. Wang from Guangzhou told the mainland media, "Recently, when I went to the supermarket to buy vegetables, the prices of pork and beef are much higher, and the prices of dishes in restaurants also increased. Now, a family meal out can easily cost dozens of dollars, and I feel we should spend more cautiously." The China-US tariff war has impacted the fruit market, including some fruits that were once unsaleable. Because the prices of fertilizers and pesticides imported from abroad have increased, the price of bananas in China has also increased tenfold. Can you still afford bananas this year? The banana farmers in the fields have finally stood up this year. A box of domestic products costs nearly $12.50, and a pound of bananas costs almost 60 cents. If you can buy bananas for less than 70 cents per pound, it means that the fruit store is not really making money from you. It's not that business owners are mean, the prices of bananas is just high this year. Didn't you notice? The price of all fruits are rising rapidly. The price increase for fruits is good for fruit farmers and merchants, but eating fruits becomes a luxury for ordinary people who are financially stretched. A lady living in Chengchuan City, Jilin Province likes to eat fruit. Now she is short of money and hasn't bought fruit for half a month. I went to the market to buy vegetables yesterday. I bought some and came back. I saw the fruits on display in the market and really wanted to eat them. However, the fruits here in Jingyue, Chengchuan are too expensive. I really want to eat them, but I can't buy them because buying one piece of fruit would cost me the money for several days' worth of vegetables. According to public data, China is the world's largest food importer, and the U.S. is one of China's largest food suppliers. On April 23, 2025, the CCP's Economic Daily reported under the title, "What signal does the decline in grain imports send?" saying, according to the latest data from China's customs, China's cumulative grain imports from January to March 2025 reached 22.7 million tons, a sharp year-on-year decrease of 40.8%, including grain varieties such as wheat, corn, soybeans, sorghum, and barley. Data from the first 11 months of 2023 showed that China mainly relies on Brazil and the U.S. for soybean imports. Brazil and the U.S. and Ukraine are China's top 3 countries for corn imports. Australia, Canada, and the U.S. are the top 3 for wheat imports, all of which are geopolitical rivals of the CCP. From this, we can see that the U.S. provides China with a large amount of necessities such as soybeans, pork, beef, corn, wheat, etc. every year. Although the CCP has repeatedly emphasized fighting against the U.S. vigorously, some Chinese netizens are worried that this is another time the regime's neck is choked by the U.S. Some people said that China might experience another great famine, and the poor Chinese people have to eat tree bark again. During the Great Depression, Beijing, the political center of the Chinese Communist Party, was severely hit. My apartments have been empty for almost 5 months. The price has been reduced so much that it really hurts, but they still can't be rented out. I'm Da Kui, a Beijing drifter who owns 3,000 rental apartments. There are really fewer and fewer people in Beijing now. Even many delivery guys have left. This year's rental market is the most difficult in my 10 years of business. The sub-landlords all ran away, the real estate agents all switched to courier guys, and they all lie flat in April. Now, apartments priced at $6.90 per bed per day are packed, but our fully furnished apartments have no demand. Some of our peers are still increasing their rent by 5% per year and would rather their apartments grow mushrooms than lower the prices. Wake up, the era of making money without doing anything has flipped over. Finally, let me say something harsh. Buyers now have the final say in the rental market, and the golden age of landlords is long gone. Guangzhou is one of China's 4 first-tier cities, and this is the scene now. The lunchboxes, 55 cents each in Tianhe District, Guangzhou, are all sold out, and you are still telling me that consumption in Guangzhou is upgrading. You are either retarded or evil. The lunchbox for 55 cents has 4 dishes, a scrambled egg, a potato, vermicelli, and a pickle. The lunchbox for 55 cents is selling so well. Dare you tell me the consumption is upgrading? In today's economic environment, young people have long been smoothed over by reality and pushed forward. I feel that life is really meaningless for the poor. Every day we just work, work, and work. But after working for so many years, we are still poor in the end. My original goal of working was to get rid of poverty, but the end of working is the same poor life. I worked 3 jobs every day in Hangzhou for a month. Then I went to the hospital and the doctor prescribed me over $50 worth of medicine. The doctor told me that I couldn't work so hard anymore. If I continued to work so hard, I would really have a lumbar disc herniation. It's a traditional Chinese concept that men work outside to support the family, while women stay at home to take care of their husbands and raise children. However, under the rule of the Communist Party of China, Chinese men can no longer support their families. Chinese men can no longer support their families. China Economic Net conducted 4 surveys and found that among the 1.4 billion people in the country, only 700,000 people had a monthly salary higher than $2,750. There is a concept in economics called labor sharing rate, which says that the income of one worker in the U.S. can support 4.8 people, the income of one worker in Germany can support 6.8 people, and in China it can only support 1.1 people. Therefore, there are many full-time housewives in Europe and the U.S. who can give birth to and raise a bunch of children, but it's difficult for us Chinese to raise one child. Most Chinese men have a monthly income below $688 because more than 90% of Chinese people do not even meet the personal income tax standard of $688. Most Chinese men have to use their salary of several thousand yuan to deal with living expenses, children's education, mortgage loans, car loans, etc., and basically spend all of it. You may have to borrow money. Look, isn't it true that more and more are in debt? If I hadn't married you, all of this would not have happened, right? Correct. Then you should not get married. Smoking is bad for your health. What's wrong with my health? I haven't had any makeup for a long time. Go buy it. Please tell me to quit now. Don't quit just because you don't have money. You are not willing to quit some bad habits. I understand the difficulty, so I have given you a year to quit smoking slowly. But you still smoke a pack of cigarettes a day, and a pack of cigarettes costs $2.80. I used to think I would be willing to share the good and bad times with you and make money together. But then I realized that you were unwilling even to quit smoking, which resulted in a 1-year delay of our travel. With more than $800, we can go to Yunnan or Hainan. And those people at the bottom of society have unspeakable sorrow. Hey, why are you sleeping here again? No, it's too cold there. There are a lot of mosquitoes too, and it's raining now. Do you have a place to live now? Just sleeping outside? There is no place to live. Oh, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Guizhou. You are from Guizhou, so how come? I will take you to find a job tomorrow, okay? Sure, I'm so hungry. Can you take me to eat first? Didn't I just make you some instant noodles? I have no money now, and I'm sleeping in the bridge hole, right here in this bridge hole. There's no way I can help you, little sister. A migrant worker fainted from hunger on the streets of Shenzhen. Fell asleep. Even if you can't find a job, you can't steal my battery. I haven't been here for long, and look, it's been pried open. The battery has been taken away. There are more and more thieves this year. Last week, the gasoline on my neighbor's motorcycle was released. The person who was caught was not the same person as before, but a young man. Does it mean such a group will form because money is difficult to earn? In a family in Shangcheng City, Henan Province, an 8-year-old brother and his 3-year-old sister are planting peanuts in the field. Look at these two kids. One is digging the soil and the other is planting beans. They are so capable. The neighbor said, because their parents are in special health conditions and cannot take care of the two children, only their grandmother, who is over 80 years old, takes care of them. Sometimes I will send some clothes and food to the children. Netizens commented, it's outrageous that the totalitarian dictatorship of the Chinese Communist Party has caused children to live in difficulties. It's sad to see how hard people's lives are. Amidst their difficult lives, more and more Chinese are awakening. Please treat your people well. Look at what people are like now. People are going through fire and water, struggling to survive. Only kindness can bring a good ending. And this is a sentence that many Chinese people have been holding in their hearts for a long time, and it's also a warning to the Chinese communist regime. That's all for today. If you enjoy our content, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment, and share it with a friend. We appreciate your support, and we'll see you next time.